This is Alexander Fleming. Wait, he's dead. But let's rewind back like 140 years to when he was still alive. Okay, editor, not that far back. Alexander Fleming was born in the summer day of August 6th of 1881 in the small Scottish town of Lodgefield.
He was born from Hugh Fleming and Grace Sterling, a humble marriage of farmers. He had 3 other brothers that he lived with. In his early days, he lived with his parents in Lodgefield, but he went to school in Darwell, a nearby town. Sadly, at age 7, his father died, and the farmer was left in the hands of his mom. But soon after, in 1895, he moved to London, where he lived with his older brother, Thomas Fleming, who was already a participant physician. In London, Fleming finished his basic education at the notorious University of Westminster.
After finishing school, he served in the Territorial Army from 1900 to 1914. Note that this was the year when the First World War started, but his passion in the field of medicine started in the year 1901, when he started studying at the St. Mary's Medical School in the University of London, under a scholarship. He had a great time there, and he was one of the top students, getting the 1908 gold medal as the best of the promotion. As a result of his academic achievements, he was offered a temporary position in the hospital as a surgeon. There, he developed his research skills in the field of immunology and bacteria. And, as a doctor, he saw the war crimes and suffering firsthand, as he cured the ill and wounded. However, as the war progressed, he joined yet again the army in the Royal Army Medical Corps. Here, he made a small breakthrough with the antiseptics, as he found that most of them diminished the effects of the immune system of the individual, while not killing the bacteria. He found out that by drying and cleaning the wound before applying the antiseptic, it would have a bigger effect. This saved many lives, but its impact was not going to be enough in order to solve the medical problems which they were facing throughout World War II.
But after the war, he yet again returned to the St. Mary's Hospital as the director of the inoculation department. But he shortly became bored and became a professor in the University of London.
At last, it's 6 o'clock. Finally, the day is here.
Alexander Fleming got back from a 2-week trip just to find the discovery that would later on make him famous and save millions of lives.
What is this? My lab plate has been contaminated with some type of fungi. I better get rid of this quickly before it gets to the rest of my samples. But wait, what is this?
At that moment, Fleming noticed something very curious about the sample. It looked like the fungi called Penicillium notatum had killed the staphylococcus that surrounded it. It took him a while to realize what he had just found, but instances later, Fleming understood perfectly what that meant.
I'm gonna be famous! But wait, how should I name it? Oh, right, penicillin.
It was in that cold night of the year 1928 that penicillin was found by Fleming.
The impact in modern medicine that Fleming's discovery had changed the course of the history of medicine, opened the world to the antibiotic era. But what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are medicines that help stop infection caused by bacteria, and their job is to get rid of these bacteria by killing them or stopping them from spreading. And they had a big impact in the life expectancy in practically the whole world.
It was due to the World War II that penicillin had to start to be used on a larger scale, since now there was a need to counter infectious germs that were occurring because of the war, especially coccus. Penicillin was also extremely useful in fighting illnesses such as gonorrhea and syphilis, but not everything was positive. Later on, it was discovered that antibiotics in the long term can and will give this same bacteria immunity to these antibiotics, and therefore will probably be harder to cure when time passes. But truly, what exactly affected Fleming's discovery? Was it the time or the place that he lived in? Was it family? Or was it all just luck?
Out of the three options which are presented in this question, after dedicating a couple seconds of thought and a short period of time to inform ourselves, we can easily deduce that both the time and place, along with his family conditions, all made him become the person he was. However, these are a lot of consecutive coincidences, so luck could arguably also play a part in all of this.
First of all, his family condition directly affected the way that his life panned out. All of this, starting from the moment in which his father died, this sparked a series of events which eventually led him into moving to London with his older brother. The first event that happened was that his mother practically was forced to take over the family farm, which not only meant maintaining the farm, it also meant providing enough money in order to raise 8 children. This led then to Fleming moving to London to live with his stepbrother, who also played a great role in his development due to the fact that he was commonly idolized by Fleming because of his success, therefore leading Fleming into searching for a good education along with a fulfilling job. This made him study medicine and graduate with great honors, which instantly got him into a good job, which drew many people's attention, of which one of them got him and made him dive into the field of investigation.
The time and place also played a great role because of the demand created by it. Focusing on the place, he was in Great Britain, one of the most active participants during the war, in addition to being one of the strongest participants. Likewise, they had a great economic and military advantage provoked by the Industrial Revolution. They were also situated in Europe, the epicenter of the war, which also happened to be the most overall developed continent in the world at the moment by far. So because of this, Alexander Fleming was greatly affected by World War I, especially as a doctor. This is because he got the opportunity of seeing the suffering of the ill and the wounded firsthand, therefore leading him to the realization of the demand and cures for many bacterial infections. Not only did he realize this, he also saw that the antiseptics did little to nothing. So, because of this, he realized that there was a great demand provoked by his surroundings, which led him to continue investigating and putting efforts into finding new solutions. This eventually led him to discovering many things and writing many papers which were very enriching in the fields of medicine, along with opening new areas of investigation such as with penicillin.
In conclusion, if any of these events would have been different from the point in which his father doesn't die to the point in which there isn't a war, or that he is placed in some other country such as China, he wouldn't have been the man who discovered penicillin, if it is that someone else discovers it. For this reason, it is easy to consider Alexander Fleming a pioneer created thanks to his current surroundings. But in order to truly understand why this makes him a pioneer, we have to first understand what a pioneer is. A pioneer is currently understood as someone who either ventures into unknown territory or someone who opens up new areas of thought, research, or development. Basing ourselves on this definition, Fleming is clearly related to the second part of the pioneer definition because he was the first to give penicillin the importance it deserves, regardless of the fact that he wasn't the one who made it fully functional, nor the first to observe it. He was the first to actually consider it as something important and shared the information found as relevant information. However, the importance of this discovery at the transformation into a functional medicine didn't occur until roughly 10 years later.